So if you guys don't already have a tab open for Canvas, if you want to open that tab up and go into the course using your self-enroll link, I'll pop that in the chat again just to make sure that you have it. And I've already set this up. I don't know, again, what kind of experience you guys have with discussions, but we're actually going to do a poll in a minute, so I do know what your background is. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, you already did all that. And for giving the directions. So I'm going to go ahead and use our handy dandy classroom screen, which I'm sure you guys have seen, but it is super helpful to kind of keep us on track, especially me. I have a tendency to wander. But it is cool for the kids too, because they kind of have this nice visual to keep them, okay, I just have a little bit left, right?
Yes, and I'm seeing several people in the class, Allison, Carol, Jenna, Chris, Marissa, Aaron. If anyone else is having problems, just let us know. But again, what you want to do is you want to click on this link, and then you want to click enroll in the course, and then you'll click the red button that says go to course, and then you're going to click on discussions.
Thank you, Carrie. And I think I had those written out in there. No, I actually didn't put the directions for how to actually answer it, so thank you. No, it helps if you start the clock. You guys got a few extra minutes. So I'm going to refresh that and see how y'all are doing.
Look at Sally making us post a reply before we can see everybody else's. I can't cheat that way.
I know. And we'll talk about that. I think it's important because you don't want to have 22 or if you guys are transitional, might have 150 or more students. And, you don't want to see the same thing over and over again. So I think that that's nice, just like hiding the action items beforehand so people don't go ahead and do it or look ahead, right? All right. See how it's going. Love it. Good. See, I'm going back to my classroom screen so I don't give it away. Because if they have to post before they can see everybody's, but I'm showing them, no bueno. Got about 40 seconds left.
No, that's not enough. Now I'm rushing.
I know it feels like death silence when you're given 2 minutes in this kind of forum. It's taken a lot of time for me to get used to this, and it'll probably still take me some time. I don't know if the rest of you guys feel that way, but hopefully that helps take a little pressure off of you that you don't have to be perfect the first time. Case in point, or point in case. I don't know. One of those. Because there's going to be stuff, and you just kind of have to roll with it.
Yep.
All right. So I like this. So they could respond to questions from a text used in class. I like it. I love that thing. All right. So I like to use discussions as a get to know me or think, pair, share. Absolutely. One of my favorite things that Carrie actually did in a training that we did a while ago was, is it 3 truths and a lie, Carrie?
Yes.
I think that's fun. Like, you can always kind of throw something in there to throw people off, and it's fun to see what they think. It's not your typical get to know me. It's kind of fun. It makes people laugh, and it can surprise you sometimes. So one of the things we're going to do later, I think will be fun too. So you could ask students to express an opinion on a topic. Absolutely. Yes, Carol, I think, again, one of the videos I included in your resources is all about building connections and humanizing your learning, because when you're in this type of environment, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, it's totally quiet except for Carrie. And, I see a couple more people in here, and you can't read the room. Like, you can't see everybody's faces. You can't tell if they're like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. Or if they're, really excited and can't wait for the next thing, or totally ignoring you and just have it like running in the back. I see you. But, like, you can't read all those things. And so it's difficult to kind of get that feedback. I think that having the discussion, we have a random name generator. There's the wheelofnames.com. I really like that one because it has confetti. And if you haven't met our team, we like confetti and glitter and stuff. And so, it just makes it a little bit more fun, and it makes people a little bit more alert. Like, oh, she could call my name at any time. I want to be ready. Hopefully that's the case. But the classroom screen has a nice one too. It's just a little bit more subdued. So it's kind of, depends on your personality. So let's get back up here to my home. Sorry about that. All right. To get back into my presentation, I should have probably opened this separately, but I wanted it in there. Remember that, and I'll click into another one next time. All right. So we've got that. And then I gave you guys some other examples. And this was what Canvas actually provided. They really provide all the tools that you need to provide a training or just an overview. So sometimes if you guys call us or email us and ask for help, that's where we go first, because everything's already built out. They have nice screenshots of things that show you how to do it, and all of this information is there. So for focus, it might just be sharing resources. Like, it could be a resource warehouse. You want them to go explore a certain topic or collect results from a simple research activity and report what happened. Share solutions to a single problem, correct misconceptions, clarify course policies. I think this is a good one. I think that's going to be really important in the beginning to kind of reiterate. One of the resources that I gave you is actually a short lesson that I did with a couple of my 5th grade classes, where we actually used Canvas discussions to create our norms for online discussions. And so we talked about what might be a good option. Carrie, do you mind muting everybody? I can hear some typing. And then I need to unmute myself, right? Or am I good? Okay. So I'm going to keep talking. If I'm muted, let me know. So anyway, we used the classroom discussion to come up with our own norms. And so they listed everything that they thought would be good rules. And then I allowed the like feature so that they could vote on it. And the rules that had the most likes, we created an infographic, and that goes into the Canvas course, and it's there in front of all of their future discussions. And so if you're interested in that, it's already built out. You can use that, and it's in Commons. And it's about 45 minutes. It may be less with the older kids, but 5th grade, it just took some, like, we talked for a little bit. So, you can share insights about a reading. And then with Threaded, like we said, this was going to go on a little bit more. Post and answer multiple or related or unrelated questions. Organize results from a complex research activity. Share and iterate upon ideas shared by each student in the course. I think that that's really good because they can expand upon it. So maybe you ask a certain student to start off, and then they have to continue building upon that idea. Ask multiple questions of a single discussion leader. Refine ideas between multiple discussion leaders and learners. Facilitate group discussions around multiple topics. And facilitate discussions around the discussion. So I thought we talked about this the other day in a training where you could actually have, you could jigsaw some things and have people report back on it, and then have another group report on what they saw from that group and like what their observations were. So that's kind of like a fishbowl situation where they're watching the action take place. So you explore at length the feasibility of different solutions to a complex problem. So, you know, my grandmother used to say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's my Southern coming out in me. But, you know, there's more than one way to do things. And typically, especially in technology, if one way doesn't work, we have to find another workaround. So this is teaching them, you know, about that. So we're going to look at how to actually set up your Canvas discussion settings within your course. So I want you, if you're not in, you'll need, sorry, I need to back up. You need to go into your Sandbox course if you're not there already or have a tab open for that. And if you have not created one of those before, keep doing that. You will go to ClassLink, obviously, go to Canvas, and then you can create a new course right from your dashboard. And you can name it anything you want, but it's important to remember the name so that you know what to come back to. And from the dashboard, it's just over on the right. And you can start a new course, give it a name. So this is 819 Canvas discussion training sandbox. You don't have to create a brand new sandbox. If you already have one, please feel free to use that already. This is just so that we can show you how to set up the settings for your class. And you can play with it here. And if you don't like it, you know, you can adjust it within your real class. So once you're in the course, you go to settings. And then you go to course details. It just defaults to that. And you're going to scroll all the way down until you see more options. So you'll click more options. And you'll see let students self-enroll by sharing with them a secret code. This would be helpful if you were doing like an after-school book club or enrichment program. For all of you who have courses that are built out in Focus, those are built already for you, so you don't have to have students self-enroll in those. You know, this might be good for a PLC, or if you have grade level meetings that you could put all of your information in there. Or if your team wants to collaborate, this would be a great place for you guys to do that. So you can show recent announcements. This is related to what we're doing right now. You can let students attach files to discussions if you would like, if you're worried about what that might be, or you just don't want to have another icon on the screen, you can take that out. I personally would not let students create discussion topics. There's no telling where that would go. It's up to you about letting students edit or delete their own discussion posts. You know, do you want them to have that self-efficacy of, oh, I messed up and I want to fix that and give them another try? Or maybe they said something inappropriate and they don't, they realize that they shouldn't have said that. Then, you know, we want to give them the chance to make that right. If you don't, then, you know, you can take that away, but it's up to you. Again, this is kind of up to you and your group. You'll get to know them and you'll know what's going to be right for you. I probably wouldn't in the beginning, and then see how it goes. And then you could maybe open that up to them. One of the cool things that I saw as a discussion option was that it was a sell yourself. And I put that in your agenda. And because like I went over what they had in Canvas, but then I looked for like real life teachers and what they had to say. And I thought that was a really interesting way to use discussions, because they had to sell themselves so that someone would pick them for their group. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then, you know, hide the grade distributions and hide the totals, because we want them to go to Focus for their grades. That's our grade book. And, you know, some of these things might be graded before they go into Focus, and we don't want to get that confused. So, you know, I would probably disable the comments on announcements simply because that will just be one more thing that you have to monitor, and ain't nobody got time for that. So I went back out of my thing again. All right. Okay. So I want you guys, hopefully you were following along with me. If you will, put a thumbs up in the chat just so I know that you were able to go ahead and complete that and select those options for your discussion settings. And if you guys want, another minute to do that, just remember you go into settings and your sandbox, go to course details, more options all the way at the bottom, and then deselect the options that you want. And then if you want, you can take a screenshot or just a thumbs up is fine. Call me Grace. All right, cool. Okay, that's all right, Allison. And it only takes a second, so there's not a whole lot of options there. There's going to be some more options where you build out your discussion, and that's what Carrie was talking about just a second ago. So we'll look at that and see how we can continue to kind of personalize it for us. So Canvas is very responsive. This is one of the things that is one of my favorites about Canvas because it's not going to show you more than you need. So as you are clicking things, boxes like menu boxes will populate. And so if you haven't clicked a box for these settings, right? So if I go into discussions and I'm going to click on edit, I'm going to add it first, obviously. And you guys can do this with me if you'd like. So you're going to go into discussions and then you'll click plus discussion and we're going to add a title. And I'm just going to write discussion test. And then this could be your prompt, right? So it could be anything, but we're doing back to school stuff. So it could be, please list your name. Tell us your favorite color and what food do you dislike? That's very bland. That's very vanilla, but it is what it is. And so I would probably do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting. You could use your Bitmoji or, whatever. So we're going to talk about these other settings later, but this is what I want to focus on right now. So I'm going to kind of blow this up a little bit so y'all can see better. I feel like it was small. So these are the options that we're going to look at now that you need to decide what you want for your discussion. So this could be a discussion that you create for your kids, like, the first time that you guys decide to use Canvas. And so think about what you want that to actually be. And then later you can just copy it into your course. But do you want to allow threaded replies? So it's kind of a natural give take. You ask them, up here after they have completed the questions to respond to a friend, or I shouldn't say friend, they may not know each other, but another participant, right? So after you have completed the questions, please reply to 2 other participants or students or whatever, right? So I think that would be important. If you are concerned, if you are in primary, then you could also record media. So you could record yourself and say these things. If your kiddos can't read, or maybe you have a high ESE population, you can just click this little button right here and you can record yourself. You're going to want to allow your microphone and your camera when that comes up. And slowly but surely it will come around. There I am. All right. Still working on it. I'm going to Oh, I was hoping I could move it. Yep, there we go. Everything's just slow for me. Anyway, so you can see my volume's working. Everything's good to go. So if I start my recording. Hey there, welcome to Miss Brown's class. I'm so glad that you're in my class this year. I want to get to know you a little bit better. So if you will please tell me your name or your nickname that you like to go by, your favorite color, and foods that you dislike. I also want you to reply to 2 other students within the discussion before you're finished. Thank you. And so it's going to populate. While it's doing that, I'm going to give it a name. So I'm just going to type directions or discussion. It's nothing fancy, you know. You never look or sound the way that you think you do. And I know I sound bad, so I'm sorry, but my life. All right. So it's nice to have that, I think, regardless of what grade that you have. But especially in the younger grades, this would be nice. So this was what Carrie was talking about earlier. I set it up so that you had to actually post before seeing replies. Again, this just prevents redundancy. Like it just gets boring, you know. We're going to talk about podcasts later. You can decide if you want it to be graded. This is what I like though. Like when I click graded, right? All of a sudden it popped up all of these other options down here. And we're going to be talking about group discussions and things like that. But before that wasn't there because it wasn't selected. So now I can decide, do I want it to have points or do I just want it to be complete and incomplete? This is just an introduction. I just want them to do it. So, you know, that's all I want them to do. This is where you could sync it back to focus. In this case, I'm not going to be doing that. And where do you want it? So I'm going to have it go into the assignment group. This is really nice. So you could require peer reviews. This would be an especially good activity or, I don't know, component for older grades because I think it makes people step it up a little bit. Like if you know that someone's going to be evaluating what you write or what you do or your training, like you're going to try to let it be as good as possible, right? So you might ease into that, but I think that that's a really good option. You can assign it to everyone or you can assign it to specific people, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But if this is a really great way to differentiate for your students. The same goes for the due dates and when it's available. So right now, you know, we've all talked about like having compassion and grace and making sure that things are available for our students. So these timeframes might be longer depending upon what type of class you're teaching. And this might be a little bit more lax depending upon what your parameters are going to be. But, you know, if you have a group of ESE students and they get time and a half, you are able to do that from within Canvas and no one else will see that they have special accommodations. They will only see their assignment, which is really nice. So then you save and publish. If you guys created one, I would love for you to take a screenshot and post it in the chat. If you guys haven't done it yet, I will give you, you know, another 2 minutes or so just to pick those and write something real quick. We don't have to respond to these. We're just creating it. And we're going to use this same discussion to adjust some settings later. And again, for your screenshot, you have Windows plus Shift plus S for the Mac and +3 for your screenshot. So right now, if you have not yet, please go into your sandbox, go to discussion, add discussion, then edit, title, and text. We'll put RCE and choose select. Thank you. You're the bomb. Felt like I was forgetting something. And select your settings. I did it again. You see what I did? Giving them all this extra time. No. Hope y'all came up with something fun. Mine was bland. I'll do better next time. Keep people on their toes. Sorry if y'all hear background noise. My office is adjacent to the teacher workroom. I'm going to mute it for a second. Are you on a school computer or are you at home? Thank you. Awesome. Or not home, but like a personal computer. And you don't have to have the video, but we will need to look at that for you to make sure that it works in the future. Oh, but you were able to record it, it just won't upload, or what's happening?
That's processing, Sally. The longer your video is, the longer it takes to process. So you'll want to just stay on that screen. And then once it finishes, it'll open a title box where you can give it a title and then click the save button.
All right, that makes sense. So I mentioned earlier that I support elementary, so I will take this moment because Carrie is well-versed in Canvas and is our Canvas ninja for sure. And I don't have a secondary school, so a lot of my elementary teachers weren't really using Canvas until recently. And so some of it is just going to be just like you guys, repetition, being exposed to it. And so I'm very thankful that Carrie could be here because I might know that if I saw it, but it doesn't just come to mind when we're talking about it. I'll get there. All right. So I really did, I mean, you guys saw how that just expands stuff so it doesn't confuse you, you know? I like that. Oh, see, I have a little taco thing. I should have had that up. That's all right. We'll talk about it now. All right, so let's stay connected. I want to see this, Chris Taylor. Is it going to come up? I like it. And in the video, I put the Canvas training. There's a video that they did. They have been doing this series for months now on Facebook Live, and I just love it. And they have these little short videos. Some are longer than others, but it's like 30 minutes to an hour. And he discusses humanizing learning through online discussions and having a pinned discussion at the top that's kind of like a open forum for ongoing questions so that, you know, it does cut down on some of the questions that your students may have, because if they see the answers there, they don't have to keep emailing you or something like that. And then, oh, sorry, maybe next time. And I do have Chick-fil-A. We'll see how good you guys do, and then maybe. But anyway, if one of y'all would mute everybody for me, please. I'm hearing some typing. It's just like a tiff. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. You don't realize it until you're on the other end. It's all right. So here we go. So I want to talk about the art of discussion and how this is helpful. My screen is frozen over here and I need to get to my, there we go. It's weird. Okay. So this was interesting for me because it was new, and these are different ways that you can kind of differentiate. So you can give the kids different dates when the discussions are due. So again, if you wanted to allow enrichment or they needed remediation, you can adjust those dates. You can create groups, and this actually locks it down so that other groups cannot see what the other group is doing. So it keeps things personal. They just go in there and they see their own assignments and things like that. For your notifications, as they're having discussions, you're probably going to want to adjust how you receive notifications about that. So I want to go in to your account now. So if you guys will follow along with me, we're going to click on account and then go to notifications, and your account is in the gray global navigation at the very top, and then notifications is the top right here. And you can set, you may have done this in one of the other classes, so if you've already done this, you can just go ahead and start putting those thumbs up in the chat. But I just wanted to go over it so you were at least aware of it if you didn't already. So you can choose between notify me right away, send daily summary, send weekly summary, do not send me anything. So this kind of depends on how many notifications you really want to receive, you know, via text or email, but and probably the type of assignment. So for discussions, you probably want it to notify you right away so that you can kind of be monitoring that and making sure that everything's going as planned. You could do a daily summary so that you see who's actually engaged in the work, or weekly. And I think I have a lot of mine set on this and this because I don't need to know. And I have so many courses you guys have seen as we scroll through that I don't need notifications from all of those courses all the time. It'd be crazy. So, you know, I just want to give you guys a couple of minutes to go through here. And the discussions are located down here, but I realize that if you've never been introduced to these, you might want to change some of the others as well. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to do that on your own so that you can get the notifications the way that you need to. This time, maybe not. I'll let you have. Oop, it didn't let me do that. Close enough. All right. So now we're in notifications. I'll leave that there. So we are in account. Notifications. And then adjust your preferences. How are we doing over there, Carrie? I've got some weird stuff going on over here, so I can't pull up you guys at all.
I don't have any questions. So I think they're okay. They must be working on it.
Good deal. When you guys are done, just do the thumbs up in the chat so we know that we can go on. Not what I wanted. About 20 more seconds. Do we have some thumbs up, Carrie?
Lots of thumbs ups.
Yay. All right. Well, thumbs up to that. So hopefully you guys were able to do that within the given time. If not, at least now you know where it is so you can, come back to it later. I wanted to talk to you guys too about the difference between, sections and courses. So there are sections, and those are going to be larger and more for organizational purposes. So I have a little graphic here, and I need to do this differently next time. I feel like that's what Becky was talking about the other day, going back and forth. Anyway. Sorry about that. But in any case, the sections are more for organizational purposes. So like, especially if we had done like a hybrid model, right, for school, and you had kids that came on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, then the sections might be nice because for you as a visual, you could see that these sections are the ones that you see on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the ones that come on Tuesday, Thursday are separated out. The kids see all of the same content. If you wanted to differentiate, that is when you use the groups. So if you see that word section as you're assigning assignments or quizzes or, discussions, then just keep that in mind that it is, the sections are just for organizational purposes and you need to be using the groups for that. So what I like about this is that we have all of these options to differentiate, encourage collaboration and communication. So with adjusting the dates out, you can, provide those unique dates for the different groups. I actually made a test course last night and just played with it a little bit because, again, a lot of my elementary teachers weren't utilizing some of these options. So I just wanted to see what it looked like. So we'll go there in a minute. But you can alter the assignments. They kind of have like their own little breakout room. So again, they only see what you sent to them. You can modify the notifications so that it gives you the opportunity for instant feedback. And I think that that helps guide them as well. So for collaboration, you can create that personalized timeline so they know exactly when things are due. These are private, so I like the fact that the groups wouldn't necessarily be copying off of each other. And again, this is to help monitor or guide. So I think with the groups for increased accountability, I like this because it is very clear, you as a teacher can assign a leader and they kind of manage the group. There's no question of who's in charge of what. You guys are in the group. If you're asking for things to be turned in at a certain time, maybe you have a long project and you have these little cutoff points, like the rough draft's due here, then the mock-up is due then, and then the final product is due at the end, then you can manage that really well within there and see who's kind of carrying their weight and who's not. So I want to show you what that looks like in the elementary sandbox that I made. And a lot of these were just different tests, and I need to see how I wanted to do that. So we have several different discussions that I made here. I just want to show you guys what that looks like. Might take a minute. And so I only had like 3 kids in my class, but I just separated them out real quick to see how it was. And I only assigned it to that group. So those 2 students were assigned this discussion while the other student would have received something different. So on the back end, what that looks like is you have your normal editing, obviously, where you have your RCE, and then you scroll down, and I wanted it to go into assignments. Again, it was just complete, incomplete. The submission type is online. We're online. You know, I don't want them to hand me a sheet of paper. They're going to be doing a text entry, which is just a text box. That's all that means. They could go out. Maybe they completed it in Office 365. They could put a website URL in there, or maybe you asked them to go find a resource and they went and grabbed that link to throw in there. They can do media recordings. So again, for the primary kids, I think this is a really good option, because if they can't read or write very well, then this would still give them an option to participate and it not be very complicated. Like, they literally just have to press that button and they can respond in that way. They could do a file upload. So that is nice. Sorry. You can restrict those file uploads. And again, if you know the types of file extensions that you want to exclude, you can put those here. They have some listed out as an example for you. But again, if I didn't click that, I don't see it. So I like that. And again, if you're wanting them to kind of fail forward, you can allow those unlimited attempts. And this one is kind of a, what do you call it, a non-example, because I made it and I participated in it as the students, and then I tried to go back. If you try to adjust the settings after they've already completed something, you can't. So you can take my mistake and learn from that. You have to set all of these settings up beforehand so that like if you're only assigning it to a couple people, then that will stick, and like all of these different entry options and stuff like that. So again, you can include to have it go to focus or not. It's up to you. And then if you have the moderated grading, you would be going back, like maybe they submit a rough draft, right? And then you give them comments on their first draft, and it kind of goes back and forth. So, you know, this one was, I gave them a specific due date. You could give it to another group and say, oh, they're going to need longer, so it's going to be due, you know, on Monday. And so we're going to save that. And it will always pop this up if you're only assigning it to a portion of the class. And you're okay with this because that was the intent. Like if you made a group, then your sole purpose was to differentiate that for some reason. So we're going to continue that. And if you accidentally did it, then obviously you can go back and change that. How are we doing, Carrie? Are there any questions?
I've had no questions.
Okay, cool. How's the pace? I'm probably going too slow, but
I don't think so. I think you're covering it well. If you guys do have questions, pop them in the chat, and either I can answer them or I can stop Sally and ask her to clarify.
Thank you. All right, so we did that. I want you guys to actually create a graded discussion. So I'm thinking if you go into, where is it? I get too many tabs. That's what's wrong. So it's like my brain. I'm always thinking about a lot of different things. So if you go back to your sandbox course or wherever you're playing right now, you can actually go in and edit the previous discussion that you created and put some grade or some dates in. Or if you want to create a whole brand new one and adjust the dates, you can do that as well. Leave that up to you guys. But once you click edit, you're going to scroll all the way down to the end. And then this is where you would give it a due date, right? So I'll give you 2 days to complete that. And then if you want to lock it down so that, after a while, their response might not be relevant anymore if you guys have moved on to a different topic. So if it was available from today until, I don't know, next Friday, maybe that's the end of the unit, then you can even put a time on it. But I'm cool with that. If you want it to be right when you meet, then you can adjust the time as well. So, and if you had done groups, this is where you can choose different course sections or like the different groups. And then you can, like, if you did 2 different groups, you could add on to that and adjust those. I'll just show you what it looks like. So really, you could keep going forever. So like if you had 5 or 6 private groups within a class, you could literally assign all of those different topics or give them different dates or whatever works for your specific project. So, and see, it tells you it's smart. Like I didn't enter anything, but I don't want to, so I just closed out. So I'm going to go into classroom screen. And for now, you guys are going back into your course, and then you are going into your discussion. This could either be your pre-made, or if you'd like to create a new one, and you are going to click edit and then, add all the appropriate information in there if you're making a brand new one, but you can scroll down to the bottom and add in those dates. I'll mute that.
Please pardon the interruption.
Sorry.
Mr. Ricky, could you please come to the front office? Mr. Ricky, please come to the front office. Thank you.
And all this just takes practice. And if you mess up, a lot of times, if you forget something, Canvas is going to prompt you anyway to go back. So if you've selected certain settings and you didn't actually fill those in, you will be prompted to go back and start the timer. I feel like this is a shorty, so I'm just going to do like a minute and 30. Y'all are probably about done. Anyway. And then from within there, I actually want to go to my elementary box. I think out loud, sorry. And I hum. Carrie can tell you all about that.
So Allison is saying it won't let her choose graded.
And that is probably Allison because y'all don't have kids yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, Carrie, and should I just let them add me in as a student so they can actually make it work?
Sure. Or me.
Yeah.
Anybody they want.
You guys can add one of us as one of your students and we will accept the invitation. If you're not sure, see, I was about to leave before saving it. You have to save. Forgot that important step. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to go show you guys how to actually add someone if you're not sure how. So it's good anyway, because you'll know now. Because like say if you wanted to collaborate with a teacher and you guys kind of toggle on and off, like I used to have pre-AP and standard and gifted world cultures, and my teammate would make the standard lesson plans and I would make the gifted lesson plans and the AP lesson plans. So you could add people in if you needed to do that, or if there's a kid missing or whatever. So from your course, right, over on the left-hand side, you click people. And then you just click this little plus sign. And you can enter us by our email, our login. I'm not going to give you my ID number. So I'm Brown S7. And Carrie, I don't know yours. Is it just Walk-A?
Yeah, but you'd have to add us by email address.
Okay.
the username isn't working anymore because with the new data load, it changed our usernames on the backside. So
Gotcha.
Carrie.wall and Sally.brown.
Got it. And then, of course, once you've done that, you want to make sure that you select us as student. And then you'll click next. This will be good because the other stuff we're going to need anyway, and I was kind of worried about that. I was going to add everybody, but time. So I'll extend that time since we had that little bump in the road there. And I don't think we probably need, maybe it's just a minute. That's probably fine after we get everybody in there. And then we'll start getting our invitations. So on the flip side of that, the person that you've invited should receive an invitation at the top of their dashboard when it goes through. And so it would just populate up here. We may have to keep refreshing every now and then for it to load. And my stuff's been slow anyway, so we'll see how that works. So if you guys need the students to create the graded assignment, then you would, is it not? There's directions there. So in your course, you would click people, and then you would click plus people, and then you want to add our emails. And then click next. My stuff's still spinning. I'm going to go ahead and start this though so it doesn't bog us down too bad. And then I was saving this one because I think it's fun. When you're done with that, go ahead and pop a GIF into the chat of what you would rather be doing right now. Don't make me cry. I'd rather be at the beach, I ain't gonna lie. I can't get in there. So I'm just gonna have to trust y'all. How are we looking, Carrie?
Looking good. I'm looking for Allison's invite, but I'm not seeing it.
Thank you. I wonder.
When you asked what we would rather be doing, did you mean like, you know, drowning so that we end the pain, or?
Let me tell you, it has crossed my mind a couple times.
That's
we
where
are
I'm at.
drowning. We are drowning, so we need a life raft or something. Just get it over with. Send a shark. Oh, you are a shark now, so there you are. The good news is that on the actual agenda, I put a lot of the directions on there, and I also included a lot of links to different things. So if you guys were not able, I mean, we didn't get any invitations, so I'm not sure what's happening there. It should have come right through. But I do know that other people have had that problem too. I helped a teacher the other day, and it didn't show up till the next day. So maybe there's a delay, but I'm not sure. I know there's some glitches going on. But I just wanted to show you guys something. If you actually look on your agenda, we are on Roman numeral 5, letter C. And this was where we start talking about, or no. Yeah, we were just talking about groups. I wanted to give you guys the dates. Yes, so we're on C. So I wanted to show you how to do the different group discussions. So I'll probably just show that in that course. So I'm glad I built that last night. Show you the different options in there. But right below there, I took from the Canvas guides some different links that kind of specifically target different areas. And so it has how to create a group discussion, more differentiation in Canvas. There's a video, and there's also more on groups. A lot of times the Canvas community has a lot of really good stuff. And honestly, when I was looking into this, some of their answers were a lot more helpful for me than just the, rote answers from Canvas. So let me get back in there. And I need to go to my elementary, so I got to go back there. And there we go. Allowed typers back, if you don't mind. Okay. And this is what I really wanted to show you. I'm not sure how many of you guys use SpeedGrader, but you can see how excited I was and how creative. But in my defense, it was 11:30. So let's see how it works with SpeedGrader. So I had my teachers, or my students in this case, respond, right? We had like a few different little comments back and forth. And then for the teacher side of things, how does this look? So let's take a look at that. We're going to go into grades. And it'll list your participants, right? And it'll show who has turned in what. And in this case, this was the specific test that I was looking at. And so when you click it, you can give them points right here and just all the way down, right? But if you want to, in this case, it was a discussion. I need to see more than the fact that they just completed it, unless it was just, let's see. You got different statuses down here. You can make comments on there. She had asked what supplies they needed. And so I said, you can find the list at Target. Okay. Why is this not popping up? There we go. So this is cool because you can see their questions. And if this is a pen discussion at the top of your course, then everybody's seeing this. So you could either, link it to the supplies or whatever, or they could at least see my reply if I had replied within the discussion. But you can give them their grades here, give them the comment. You can attach files, so that would be easy. You can speak to them. You can listen to what, or speech to text there. And so what's cool about this is you just click the arrow and that particular person didn't turn anything in. And then you can see all of the different comments that go along with her comment. So it's really nice. You just click on grades, go to SpeedGrader, and then when you click the little arrow and click on SpeedGrader, you can click in there and it goes really fast. I know, Carrie, your people have used this a lot more than the elementary, and they love it. Are there any questions? Are you guys good?
Not seeing any new questions. No, ma'am.
Okay. Alrighty. So we weren't able to do that. We did that already. So this was just a visual I wanted to show you guys to kind of help visualize the information about sections and groups. So again, sections are just for organizational purposes, and then you can group those students within the sections. So you can't create sections within sections, but you could have, your kids that maybe you have pre-AP or IB and a standard class, then you could group them that way. So like all of your IB kids will have the sections appearing one way, and then your standard courses will appear in the other section. This is what the groups would look like. So on the instructor side, so you can either look at everyone or look at the groups and then you can see the amount of groups, the names, and then how many are in there. And then if you need to adjust anything, anytime you see those 3 little dots, it just means more. You know, our little skinny snowman always has more to give. So you click that and it will expand some more options for you. So in here, these are just different reasons that you might want to have the groups. And I'm sure you guys have already thought of some reasons, but I wanted to just kind of go over these. So again, you can view all of the activity within the groups within the course. So this allows you, again, that more accountability piece. And again, you get to see all the groups right there, like who's grouped where, which is nice. You're not keeping up with a sheet of paper. You can create the groups yourself, or you can allow them to be random, or in those settings that we did at the very beginning, where you go to the course settings and then course details, when we clicked more options. If you trust your kids enough to create their own groups, then you could give them that option within those settings. If you don't, then again, your option would be random groups, or you can create them. You can actually choose the group leaders, or again, that can be random. And the students, again, this isn't a preference thing, like whether you're going to give them that freedom or not. You can expand and collapse subgroups so that it doesn't, and you can move them around. So this is really nice so that you can see, again, how they're working together and who's actually contributing and who's not. So on the student side, this is what it would look like. They see the groups, but when they're going into their groups, they only see their stuff. So I'm going to get out of here. And I mean, there wasn't a whole lot I did last night. I was just testing it, but let's go back in here. All right, so if we go into the assignments, frequently asked questions. Felt like maybe I'm doing, yeah, it was people, my bad. So you go into people if you want to see your groups. And then again, you can see everyone in the course, or you can click on your groups, right? You can search by people. You could search by role. You know, if you have a lot of students, you're wanting to search for just that particular group. Your admin, if you add them in, this allows them to see everything, but they can't edit anything. And the observer is the parent account. And a teacher would only be like if you were collaborating with another teacher and you really trust them, like you guys collaborate on lesson plans and stuff, and they're going to build out this module on this particular topic, and you're going to do this module or whatever. But you need to make sure that your Canvas skills match up, because they can really kind of break things in the background. Carrie is our ninja guru and can oftentimes fix it, but you just want to make sure that you guys are on the same playing field. So the other tab is the groups. And so, excuse me, you can see the groups are laid out like this. This is the leader of that group. There's only 2 students in it. And again, you can edit this or delete it. Like if you're done with the groups, you can just get rid of it. And if we go to our home page, again, not much has been going on. You know, I haven't sent them an announcement or anything like that. They do have the one discussion, so I could totally preview, you know, their assignments and things like that if I had done that. I haven't sent them an announcement, but when you set those up, you can, sorry for the background noise, guys. You know, you can do that and like tell them, hey guys, I see that you haven't completed yesterday's discussion, or I haven't seen some of your evidence that you're moving towards, you know, that learning goal or whatever. You really need to pick up the pace. It's going to be due in 2 days, you know, just little reminders like that, or encouragement, whatever.
And
So,
Sally, can you,
yeah.
sorry, Carrie, I'm just going to pipe in for a second. Can you loop around and go back to just kind of the reason for the groups? Like, we're talking discussions. Now you've moved to groups. Just kind of make that full circle for us.
Sure.
You would create a group because.
So again, if you were going to have groups, it would probably be because you were doing some sort of project. We've talked about some of those options, and I think that it's good to break those up. Maybe you want to do it as, a remediation group, or perhaps you have a mixed level group and you want to put them together and have them work on something. I think that if you are in discussions and you are assigning a project that has to go along like an extended amount of time, the kids are going to have to talk to each other. So you could set that discussion up so that they could have a prompt to respond to and communicate within Canvas, which allows you to moderate it and make sure that they're being appropriate within their communication versus everything happening in email or FaceTime or whatever it is they're doing on their own time. But you could have certain expectations and requirements in regards to that communication so that you have evidence that they're working towards their goal and that everyone is participating fully. Is that good?
Okay, so, and that's definitely a next level. That's not something that, we would expect anyone to be doing, the first week of school. Groups
Right.
is definitely a more advanced feature of Canvas. So you don't have to create groups to do discussions. You can
No.
just do a discussion and assign it to your section or assign it to your class.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's how most people use it. I mean, honestly, I've definitely seen that more so. There are other ways that you can kind of tailor the learning experience within Canvas other than setting it up as a group. So if you have questions about that, you can get with your digital integration specialist. But I felt like it was an option and I wanted to make sure you guys knew that. So we've done that. We went through that. All right, so this goes, we've already subscribed to a discussion and you guys adjusted your notifications the way that you wanted to. I jumped the gun a little bit there and combined some different things. So as Carrie said, the groups is advanced. This podcast is more advanced. I've only had one teacher that I know of utilize this in her classroom, and it was an ELA class, and it was really nice because they were it was like a reading series, right? So it was a book series and there was a read aloud. And so they would have that and then they would have discussion posts that went along with it to respond to the reading for that day. And so I had to do some digging, honestly, because a lot of the feedback that I found online was not positive about this. People had mixed reactions to how it actually worked. And I did put the links that I found within the agenda so it would be easier for you guys to find out more information about it and hear real life stories from other teachers that have used it, because I feel like that is better than me just telling you, okay, this is how you do it. I felt like that was enlightening for me. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually do it. You have to record and upload media. I'm not subscribed to any podcasts. I'm not that type of person. I like to read. I don't like to listen to, Audible or things like that. I would rather have like a tangible book in my hand, but I know a lot of people do like that. And especially with the little guys, that might be a nice thing to offer. But let's go in here. We'll go home. That was my other one. The training one that we were doing. Sorry. So we go back into I'm going back into my elementary sandbox because I was toggling between those two to show you guys some stuff. Probably should have just used the other one, but I wanted to show you how to make one. So Am I still doing it? I did it again. Kill me. Need more caffeine. So remember how we said to remember the name of your sandbox? That's why. So I'm going to delete some when we're done with this, but that would be why. So, where is it? There it is, all the way down at the bottom. Good job, Sally. So now we're going to go ahead and pull this up and show you guys how to do the podcast with the discussion feature. And you could even make your own. Like if that's your jam and you want to do that and you're super techie and you want to create your own kind of learning pathway or something like that, you could definitely do that and upload it to iTunes or Google. They had Google Podcasts or something. I personally Googled free podcasts for kids and found some stuff, and that was how I did it. So, because I just don't do those things. So anyway, let's just say that this is a read aloud. And so I went into discussions, I added a discussion, I'm putting in my title, and then you click record or upload media, just like we did before. But this time, instead of recording media, we're going to upload media. And it's an audio file. So I'm going to click that, and it's already in my downloads. I'm going to show you guys where I got them in just a second. I did put the links in the agenda, so you guys had that already. It's right here on top. So I open it. It just takes a minute to load. Shows you the size of it. And, you know, you could say that you were going to, if you had this chunked out, you could have one for every day, like if you were going through a series or something. So you would have the directions here, maybe even record the directions. I wanted to be on the other side of that. Oh well. All right, so will it let me do that? I want to, yep. All right, so I just did Control Z because I wanted to move it. So I would give them directions, you know, please listen to the podcasts below, and I don't know, give 3 examples of why it is, I don't know, why the lead character was something or other. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter what that says right now. You just need to make sure that you have your directions and then you have your podcast there. And again, you can assign it to sections or groups or just everybody, and that's all good. No big deal. So again, you want to adjust your options. If you want to allow threaded responses, you have to enable the podcast feed and include student replies in the podcast feed. You could allow liking. And again, you could sort by likes if you were trying to see, you know, if they liked a particular thing better than the other about the book. Something like that. And then you save and publish. So I put some links where you guys could go and get resources for a podcast. I know I probably have a range of people, elementary to high school on here. So some of it may be more elementary. That's who I typically support, but I will support all of you if you contact me. So, but I just wanted to show you this. And again, all I did was just literally Googled free podcasts for kids, and these different options came up. There was also a really good option from Common Sense Media, and they have, I think it was the top 25 that I included. So when I went here, because I went to Story Nori, so just wanted something free and easy that I could pop in there to show you guys how it worked. Wasn't trying to get too complicated. So they have different stories here. I already downloaded that one. I'm going to go to the undercover robot competition. That sounds kind of fun. And so you can see right here that they have the file and you can just download it. And it's easier to me to just do it straight from your downloads. You can save it in your files too, so you have a backup. But I mean, if you're creating your discussion anyway and you're going to load this right away, then it just makes sense to do that. So I would like to practice that with you guys. I'm going to post the link in the, everything's kind of wonky right now. Carrie, can you click on the agenda and click free podcast for kids and put that link in there?
Yep.
Thank you. So what I'd like you guys to do is to make one of those yourself and just see what that looks like. So I'll write all of the steps down for you again. But again, you have to go in to use record or upload media. You can Google other resources if you don't want to use the link that's being provided to just grab, a random podcast for now due to time. And then this was just the title of what I found within the Canvas community that I felt was really helpful. So let's walk through it again. So within discussions, within your course,
Nope. Whoops.
And you could even do it, like I said, within a discussion that you've made previously. If you'd like to do that and not make a whole brand new one, like we could just go down to the first one, click it, and then edit. And once you guys get that link, you'll be able to just see the file right there underneath the resources that they have. And that will be what you upload into Canvas. And again, this is the icon, the record upload media little play button that you'll click to load that in there, and you'll just pop the link right in there. Save it, write your directions, and then make sure you choose your options. And you need to have enable podcast feed.
There it is.
And,
I think that's it. Yep.
And then include student replies and podcast feed. And then save. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more time on that one. About 3.5 minutes. We're actually doing pretty good on time. We're getting towards the end of the... What? One.
That's cool, Sally, because that's not something I've ever learned to do. So,
And it was a little tricky.
so all new info for me.
Yeah. I was a little worried about it, but I feel like that would be really good for ELA teachers or science or anything really if you wanted to have like a series on something, and have them listen to it and then provide feedback going forward. I really liked it when it was a 5th grade teacher and the kids loved it. I mean, they did it after lunch and it kind of brought them all back together and kind of calmed them down, and they would just sit around and listen, and she had the book underneath her doc cam and like showed the pictures. It was cool. But if you do try to upload the podcast link another way, it won't work. It has to be through that record upload media icon. No, I guess I should. And then you need to when you guys are done, if you will, haven't asked in a while for you to take a screenshot and then place it in the chat. If you'll do that for me, I would appreciate it. I feel like I probably need to give them more time. Carrie, what do you think?
Yeah, I would guess if they want to let us know in the chat.
Yeah. If you guys need more time, just let us know down in the chat. And again, for the screenshot, if you'll do Windows Shift plus S, or on a Mac, Command Shift plus 3, and just let us see how it went for you.
Sounds like we all just got the benefits text message.
Yep. Still have about a minute left. How's the chat looking, Carrie? Do I still have people?
I haven't heard from anybody yet. Not sure what's
Okay.
going on.
Are they still showing up in the meeting?
Yeah, we still have people in the meeting.
Please don't leave. It's weird because no matter what I do, when I click on my Teams, and like if your face comes up, you know, normally you would just click that and then it opens. It won't open.
Yeah, mine was it this morning mine was being weird or yesterday? Oh, look, Erin just posted a picture of her.
Hey,
And Mr. Taylor was typing.
how about that?
He's having trouble finding a podcast. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So he's out there looking.
No worries. And if you guys can't find one, I realize it might not go along with your top, you know, your curriculum or whatever, but there is a link and it says free podcast for kids. You can just click that and grab one of those just to like practice the process.
Sally, can you highlight in your notes on the screen the Windows plus Shift plus S?
Oh, sure.
Someone just asked us again.
Everything is
That's
today.
right there up on the screen. Sally just highlighted it.
I do like the classroom screen. It's nice to utilize it throughout the conversation. For you teachers out there that haven't used it yet, it's a nice way to give the instructions like this when it's kind of a give take, you know, the I do, you do, we do format. And it kind of ensures that the kids know what they're supposed to be doing and just reiterates the process. And then I like the accountability piece of either letting us know that you're ready to go on or having a screenshot. this isn't the right time to do it, but I'm going to pull it up anyway. So I have it ready to go because I want to call on someone using that in a little bit just because it has confetti and I need confetti today. And so let's see. Who did we have? We had Allison. I don't know if Chris is here. I know Mr. Moon is here. I didn't see any other names. Do we have anybody else?
Yes, we have Taylor. We have Edward. We have Jenna. Oh, Jenna says, oh no, the wheel of names.
Is this Masterson?
Yes.
Yep.
She says she's not here.
Yeah. I think last time I used it, she was like, the wheel of death. it really does, though.
We have Erin York. She's here.
She was York.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Nicola had to leave.
Okay. It makes me feel like I win because at the end it like explodes and it's just fun. It was kind of like finding confetti for your.
So we have Tracy Santiago and Marissa, I think it's Torok, in attendees, but I don't know if they're still with us.
No worries. I'll just put them there and we'll see what happens. Edward, I'm sorry if I spelled your name wrong. I remember that it was spelled with a U, but I'm not sure about the rest of it.
It's very nice. You were very close.
It's okay. I'm trying to copy it and paste it so you can see it.
Oh, you. I tried. All right. So are we pretty good in the chat, Carrie? Like everybody's been able to post?
Yeah, we're good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I will utilize the wheel of names in a little bit, and maybe it will just be at the end to give you some Chick-fil-A or something. I don't know. Like there has to be a winner of something. So
winner, chicken dinner.
That's right, for real. So I want to go through and have you guys practice attaching files, images, and videos so that you can see what that actually looks like. Utilize some of those tools up at the top in the toolbar, and I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. So I'm really sorry. I don't know if it's really loud on y'all's end, but
it's not loud. We can hardly hear it.
Okay. So, all right. So we're going into discussion, and this is where I wanted to pull that link that I had earlier, and I want to show you before I forget, because this was one of the things. If you wanted to pin a discussion up at the top, because you wanted it to be like a constant reminder, like that ongoing parking lot or something like that, all you have to do is, again, Skinny Snowman's your friend, lots of stuff there. You can just pin it. And that way it will always be up at the top. So you and the kids can access it easily. So I'm going to add a new one. Going a little slow, but you guys be thinking, I'm sure you have some documents on your computer there that you could upload for the kids. Maybe you want them to read your syllabus or something and give maybe their response is their electronic signature or something like that, right? So I think that would work. Let's see.
Sorry, heavy typer back.
It's okay, I know. All right, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting my link there. So the importance of icebreakers, right? So for me, I'm going to want to, do I want it to be a link? I think I do want it to be a link, just a link. So we're going to do that first. So please click here to learn more about the importance of icebreakers in the classroom. Then post below with your favorite of how you could use this. How could your favorite idea from the reading of how you could use it in your class. So you guys probably see this all the time in our emails because it looks nicer than having a huge long link. So I just had a link that I wanted to add, right? And so what you're going to do is highlight the words that you want to link. So if I'm saying, please click here, then they're going to click here, the words. And so you can kind of word that however you feel comfortable, but that's usually a good, safe way to go. Sometimes people still miss it, but when you click the little chain link up at the top, you can paste your link in. And if you're afraid they'll miss it, right, because it just turns it blue, our buddy Vince, who used to be with us, would bold it and like make it bigger. And so if you feel like that's necessary, you could totally do that so it stands out. Sometimes people even highlight it. I've seen that some. So let's see, where's my little highlight up there at the top? So we click there, you know, they see it now. So that would be how you could load a link. So I want you guys to try that out first. And again, you're going to set up your options and allow liking. I don't really care about that, but we're going to. It's an option. So I'm going to save and publish that. And then it is a bit of oh, see there? Because I graded it. All right, so we're going to put that it's due on Friday. Because we won't still be in here doing this on Friday. It will be done. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit longer on this because it is a bit of a read. I showed you a little preview at the beginning, so you can just kind of, skim it. But there's a lot of good stuff at the bottom. So I think that you might find some good things in there. I'm going to give you guys about 5.5 minutes. But I'm going to write this so it'll end up being more. Ooh. Oh, I need to dadgummit. I just said all that. Y'all can't do that because I put it in there. See what I did? That's what happens when you have all these things. That was my fault. If you ever want to show someone how to do discussions, don't have 3 courses that you're working out of. Just a pro tip.
Based on how virtual orientation went, I think that might have been the problem today.
Yeah. I hate to hear that. I was hoping it would be like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe it.
Nope.
So this is actually a good time to talk about this too, because Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, it may be an update, but in the past, if you had a link and you just pasted it elsewhere, that link didn't follow. Is that correct?
I think it's just the pictures that don't follow. I think the link will.
Cool. That's amazing. That's exciting. All right. So in that case, did we already do that one? We did that one. I want to do a different one. And then I'll just post it and publish it. Yeah, because you start getting confused. You see me, I've got all this crazy stuff open up here. Again, this is your brain on Sally. So, okay. Now, what was it? It was icebreakers. And I did the dirty work over there. I can just Control V it and paste it right in there. I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to make y'all post, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Y'all can like it if you want to. And then I'm going to save and publish it. And you should be good to go within the actual course, the Canvas discussion course. And if I could, I would give you that link. Carrie, if you don't mind, that would be awesome so they don't have to flit around finding that?
Nope. Hold on. I gotta go back up here in the chat and grab it.
But it'd be too distracting to play music. I feel like I need something. Maybe this is where I'll do the Wheel of Names. Oh, I didn't put directions. Okay, about a minute and a half left. If you guys need more time, just let us know in the chat. Mm-hmm. If you guys don't mind just letting us know in the chat if you need a little bit more time. Add like 2 minutes up there if that's okay. And then I need to look.
We have 1 thumbs up and we have 1 teacher having to talk to a parent.
Okay.
And we have another thumbs up.
Groovy.
Another thumbs up. So it looks like that'll be enough time.
Yeah. See, I was about to come out of there. What's the other one?
Sally,
Yes.
when you get to the end, I don't want to mess up your flow, but Allison was asking from another page, like maybe the math assignment page or the home page, if you would show them how to say, go answer this discussion question and link to the discussion.
Oh, sure.
That looks great.
I wish I could see it. Maybe I can find it on my laptop.
And Allison's back. Moon did the podcast feed.
Awesome. Thank you for keeping me apprised. It's really weird not being able to see anything. It's annoying.
Yeah, what that happened to me, well, it was yesterday, right? Like I was like, no one's telling me they're ready to go in the chat.
Yeah.
The chat's been up for like 3 minutes.
Right. And I thought you were just waiting to let people do whatever the Canva thing. There we go. Cool. Nice. Thank you, Chris. All right. So, see what this looks like. And then if somebody hasn't gotten a chance to type it out, I am going to do the little wheel of names here and have somebody just speak to what they chose and why, I think. All right. And then away we go. Oh, look at that, Jenna. Aren't you excited? Did she leave? Look at all the confetti.
Oh.
Did she leave?
No, she's here. She's hiding. And she just said no because she doesn't want to share.
Oh, it makes me so sad. She has so much to share. Did you at least write about it in the discussion? She's so funny.
She said she's gone.
Oh, whatever. She's brilliant. All right, fine. No Chick-fil-A for you.
Whoa, she said, wait. No.
Yeah. Edward, are you still here?
He's here.
It probably wasn't enough time. I probably need to just hang that one up because we're getting close to our time. But Edward, do you want to share real quick what you liked? No? Hopefully your kids don't do this to y'all. I'm even bribing you with Chick-fil-A. That's bad. All right. Well, hopefully you found something of interest. I'm going to move on because we only have 5 minutes. All right. So let's see what we have here. I want to get back to my presentation to make sure I covered everything that I wanted to cover because we only have the 5 minutes and I want to show you that math connection that you wanted. Everything's running so slow. Makes me sad. Oh, I'm in mine. That's why. Is that it? This is it. Closing that thing out. And that. All right. So, we did that. You guys got to upload a file. We did not do the media and stuff. So let's just run through that real quick. So I'm going to click on what do you think and just edit it for time's sake. And so once one of your old discussion posts comes up, you can choose any of them. Just click edit. And then once your RCE populates, or your rich content editor, also known as text box, you can actually embed YouTube videos here. So maybe we want, I know what I want. So I will survive, because it's just going to be my mantra. It's going to have to be. We have no choice. So this is just for a quick example, but if you had something you wanted to show the kids, right, then you can get this link. So I'm going to Control C to copy that, and then go back to my discussion topic and click this icon right here at the beginning. And then you can just paste it right in. Oh, it didn't do it. Rude. All right. Wonder if I should. Why didn't it? Ugh. All right. It's copied now. All right. So I like this because the dimension's already there. It makes it a nice size so it doesn't overwhelm the kids. It gives them something to read here. What did I do wrong? I hear a deep sigh.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. No, email, not
Okay.
you.
I was like, is that bad? Like, all I did was...
I didn't know it wasn't muted.
It's okay. That's funny. At least it wasn't worse. All right. So you never know. All right. So then, it's nice. It's right there. You can adjust those dimensions if you want. If you want the video to be bigger, like I hate the way the type looks right there. That's weird. I would want that underneath or above it, like saying, please watch the video below to blah, blah, blah. But I was just trying to show you guys how to put the video in there. If you want to link to something that is already in your course, then you can actually put like, please click here to read the agenda, right? And then I'm going to go to my little files, and here's my agenda. Oh, don't I have to do that? And then boom. You taught me this year. I just thought that was like the most amazing thing ever. And then I learned other stuff that was more amazing. There's been a lot of learning. So, again, you can adjust that if you want. Sorry about the bell.
Good afternoon. If we could please get the following people to the teacher's lounge, so we can space out. For just a couple of moments, we just want to update
Sorry.
you on some information.
So, that was how you would actually link to something that's already in your course. We've shown how to link to a video, and still going. And what was the other thing that we did first? Oh, the file, right? Just upload it. Can't even remember now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was having a moment. It's very distracting. So, anyway, so we've done all three of those things. Do you guys need me to run through any of that again, since it was really fast? We've covered pretty much everything. I will tell you, I'm going to go ahead and publish some of the resources that I had. If you guys like the graphics that I used, I took it from someone else that was in Commons. I looked for those hashtag Fox makes, but she has some feathers and stuff too that are kind of cute. So you could do the paint or the watercolor feathers that are kind of in style right now. So-
Sally, this is Carrie. I dropped the feedback link in the chat.
Thank you.
Just remember, Allison was asking about how to link to a discussion from somewhere else. And I have to jump off because I have another training.
Yeah.
But I will talk to you guys later. So thanks, Sally.
Thank you. Have a good one. Good luck. All right, Allison, I'm coming back at you. So, are you wanting to link like from the template? Because I have that just to show it based off of what you already have. And you can respond to me with your mic if you have one, because I cannot see the chat at all. Or no, I have it up over here.
I was just
Oh, you
wondering,
said yes.
he's created a page for the kid, whether, this is your work for today, that you could put a link right there so that they can go to the discussion.
Absolutely. So, like for instance, if you had, so like if you went to your lessons or if you went to math like that, then you could edit. Actually, let me do the other part first. So I'm going to open up 2 tabs. I'm going to close out this other stuff so it's not as confusing. And I'm going to open up Canvas so that I can get into the other course and get the link to the discussion. So that's what you would want to do first. You would start with going to your discussion, whatever it is that you want to actually link to, and then get that link from the top. And then you'll go back to the page, like your math page or whatever, and then, highlight those words and say, like, please click here for your daily assignment or whatever your wording is. All right. So, still coming up, so it'll take a second. And you got the rest of you, if you need to go, our time is over. We covered everything. I'm sorry the end was rushed. So if you have other questions, please feel free to stick around and ask them. I don't have a training right now. I can just finish up with you guys. So I'm going to go into my Canvas discussions. For you, it would probably be within the same course. So you would just go to the discussion that you built out in your course, and you could link it to that. So, because you're talking about within one course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, for instance, if I just take this top one for ease of access, right? You're going to take this top link right there and just copy it. So I do Control C, and then wherever it is that you're trying to link, I guess you said that you wanted a page that actually said like click here or something.
Yeah. Would you just add it like you would any other link?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I would highlight the words like we did where we said, please click here for.
Okay.
So like if you click on the math and it takes you there,
Mm-hmm.
and you have that first page that kind of gives the week 1 activities like here, then this is where I would do it. So you click edit and you have Monday, and then you could just write discussion and then link, highlight the word discussion and click the hyperlink icon and paste your link in there.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Alrighty. I got to run because I have another.
No worries.
Yet
Yeah.
another.
Thank you for coming.
All
If
right.
you guys will do the feedback for me, I'd appreciate it when
Yeah.
you get a chance. And if anybody else has questions, I can stick around for a little bit.
Yeah, this was really helpful. I feel a lot more comfortable.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you for coming. I was a little nervous, but
Okay. No
we're
problem.
good crew.
Thank you.
Thank you.